Coming up next, we'll look at how remote work is killing our soft skills, and then a viral social media post on red flags from candidates in an interview process. And then I'm going to coach you up. Let's go. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled that you are with us. We're helping you win at work and in life, giving you the competitive edge to make more money and to also achieve more impact professionally. So let's talk about social skills. In other words, soft skills, people skills. How important they are they? Turns out very, very important. Recently saw an article in Fast Company that highlighted some new research. And I want to just underscore the importance of soft skills, people skills for the future. Automation, artificial intelligence, robotics, in other words, all the technology advances that we're seeing now and that will come. And it's just going to keep getting more spacey. You know what I mean? It's just going to feel like we're living way out in the future. It's going to keep coming. But the fact is, and we've said this on this show, what the research shows, that despite all of that, people skills, the ability to communicate and connect with people will be more important than ever. And it's true. Because machines, if you will, or technology will become so intertwined into our life, even more so than now, which is hard to believe. I was in the airport recently, and I was looking for my wife. We were flying somewhere, and I was looking for her. I'd gone to the restroom, gotten a snack, and I was looking for her. And as I was scanning our gate, I saw a ton of kids, young kids, 5, 6, and younger. Every one of them had a device in their hand. Just zombied out, man, glued to the screen. So technology's already become intertwined into their life. It's going to be more so. And so as we embrace technology and machines and all that, which we will, people skills will become more important than ever because of the reliance on machines and the interconnected kind of tissue of machines in our lives to where we'll crave our humanness. So this is exciting. I'm going to tell you why. Because you can grow your people skills. It's possible. I like to make fun of myself all the time. I love sports. Basketball was my favorite sport growing up, but I was vertically challenged both in my height and my ability to jump. Like the bane of my existence was Coleman is vertically challenged. He's 5'9" and he can't jump over paper. Okay? It's just a fact. So no matter how hard I worked, how hard I trained, I wasn't going to get any taller, and I wasn't going to increase my vertical leap because only people who have the ability to jump high can make their jump higher, right? Okay. It was worthless. We'll get to this in a second, but you can grow in your people skills. Some of you right now are going, oh man, I'm terrible with people, or I hate people. I know there are people watching and listening right now that you're going, I really can't stand people. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. But you can not enjoy being around people, let's put it that way, and still be good at dealing with people. So we have a big problem in this area that as our society increases its usage of technology and AI and all the things, and then we saw the pandemic where kids were separated. And if you paid any attention to the news, you saw what the pandemic and sending kids home from school did to their mental health. It's everywhere. Depression skyrocketed. Anxiety skyrocketed. Why? We are relational beings. And so with the hybrid work or the complete remote work, we're seeing that the people skills have been suffering. They aren't used, and when they aren't used, they atrophy. I remember years ago when I played softball. I retired since then. But I was sliding into third base. Joe, it may have been the only triple I ever hit in my life. I hit a really nice ball down the left field line. It went bouncing around on the fence. And back in the day, I could hoof it pretty good. And so I come around, and it's a throw at the bag, right? Third base, and I'm going in, and I go in for a slide, and I jam my thumb straight in the ground. I still got the scar right here. Broke it, tore the ligament, had to have surgery. Well, as a result, my hand was in a cast, and my arm was in a cast for 8 weeks. Now, you folks can see me right now. I'm no Paul Bunyan, all right? These are not humongous forearms. But when I took that cast off after 8 weeks of not using it, it had atrophied, and it was significantly smaller. Freaked me out. Just as muscles can atrophy, so can people skills. People skills, if we aren't using them, they can atrophy. I mean, just think about it. You ever seen somebody or read a story of a war hero or somebody who's been in prison for a long time and in isolation? Man, it warps the brain. If you're not using communication, then it'll go away. So here's one thing you've got to do in this day and age. Never stop evaluating and never stop elevating your people skills. I want to say that again. Here's the takeaway from this. I've showed you, the data shows us that people skills will be the most important skill. So parents, those of you that are single, those of you that maybe you don't like being around people, you sit and go, I don't know that I'm where I need to be. You can get there. And I'm going to give you some very practical ways to boost your people skills in just a moment. But I want to make sure you understand that this is a process of never, ever stop evaluating yourself, have others evaluate your people skills. And then after the evaluation, what can I do to elevate my people skills? So I believe they're like a muscle. And just like if I start working out really hard on the old biceps, I'm going to see them grow. You can grow your people skills. So here's how to do it. I'm going to give you 3 areas. And these are high level, but because there's a lot of individuality to these, but I think this is really going to help you. So there's 3 areas. Listening is number 1. You can really practice the art of listening well. By the way, the benefit of practicing listening is you must ask more questions to actually listen well. What did you mean by that? What makes you feel that way? What have you done here? The art of asking questions makes us a better listener. Listening isn't just hearing, but it is engaging in listening. Second is feeling. As you listen, put yourself in people's shoes. This is the art of empathy, right? So as I listen, I'm now going to feel based on what you've just shared with me. I'm listening, but I'm also feeling. They tell you something sad, listen with your body, right? I'm feeling when I listen with my body. Oh, I'm so sorry. So we listen more actively, more intently, and we feel more sincerely. Feel, just get in there and feel as you're listening. And then third, doing. Listening, feeling, doing. So doing is compassion. So empathy and compassion are wonderful partners. I understand the plight. I feel your pain, as Bill Clinton made famous, right? But I'm now going to do something and act to help alleviate your pain. That's compassion. So if we can just actively begin to listen, if we can feel as we're listening, and if we can in some way do something as a result of the feeling on their behalf, now all of a sudden you have elevated your people skills. You are making an impact and watching your people skills grow. Why? Because your people skills are unlimited and they are your differentiator. You want to stand out? It's not technical skills. It'll always be people skills. Coming up, we'll fill you in on the headlines next.
Did you know recruiters take an average of 6 seconds to scan a resume? And that's if they ever see it in the first place. In fact, 75% of resumes are rejected before reaching a hiring manager. Listen, folks, if you want to get hired, you've got to make sure your resume is getting noticed. That's why we created How to Write the Perfect Resume. This free guide will walk you through the 5 steps to stand out in the hiring process and land your dream job. To get started, go to kencoleman.com/resume.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, helping you get the competitive edge to make more money and to make a bigger impact in your professional life. 844-747-2577. We coach you up every show. We have a coaching session towards the back end of the show. So if you want some coaching, be ready to go. 844-747-2577. You can also email us, ask at kencoleman.com. Ask at kencoleman.com. We love the questions that we're getting. We want more of you that are stuck. You just feel like, I can't even think about the future. I'm dealing with a 5-alarm fire right now. Ken, help me get out of the burning building. We'll change your name, location, type of work you do to protect your privacy. 844-747-2577. Ask at kencoleman.com. All right, it's time. I pay attention to the headlines so that you can get ahead. Let's go. All right, so I frequent the social media, right? I love Twitter. It's a great news resource for me. I enjoy Instagram. I'm not on Facebook that much. LinkedIn, we're on there. I personally am not on there that much, but it's the thing. I don't let it dominate my life, but I like to pay attention to it. And it's these type of things that this is why I do social media. So recently, a guy by the name of Patrick Kodu, I hope I'm saying that right, or Kadu. His username bails me out. That's his name. His username sounds like canoe. So there you go. Patrick Kodu, which I'd like to point out to the astute listener and viewer. That's how I said it, because I'm hooked on phonics. Here we go. So he recently went on Twitter and he posted this. What are your red flags when hiring? I want your spiciest takes only. Well, that brought out the stories. And so we've got a few here we're going to put on the screen. Here's one from Eric Nowbone. Hope I'm saying that one right. The receptionist test, in all quotes, is pass-fail, all or nothing. Receptionists get a scorecard evaluating how the candidate interacts with and treats someone who ostensibly has nothing to do with the hiring decision. If you're rude to them because they have nothing to offer, you're a pass. Oh, I like that one. So instead of the interview, we're just going to watch how they treat other people in the office. It's fantastic. Good water today, Joe. Next is Alana Pierce. If a man, when asked a question by a woman, only makes eye contact with other men when responding, that's a red flag. Unfortunately, pretty common and a massive indicator of how you treat female colleagues if hired. Now, I got to tell you, this is a guy. Let's call this out. She says dudes do this. And I'm not saying that dudes don't do this, but I'm a little surprised that there's still that many dudes have their head in the sand. In 2022, a woman asks you a question and you're not going to make eye contact with her. Really? Like, seriously? There was an old cartoon when I was a kid growing up called Captain Caveman. We'll just call those guys Captain Caveman, you idiot. Look the woman in the eye. It doesn't matter whether she's a woman or a man. It's called just professional courtesy. Gee whiz. But can I just also say this, and I'm not excusing this, but anytime that happens, there's something that happened in that guy's life that makes him value or devalue women the way he's doing that. There's something deeper going on there. All right, number 3. People who after midday on Wednesday ask if they can have the weekend to think about it. Do you or do you not want the freaking job? Okay, that one's funny right there, and I don't know if I'm that judgmental about it. So it's midday on the Wednesday. They've been offered the job, and their response is, can I have the weekend to think about it? So you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they ask you for 4 days to think about it. That doesn't particularly bother me the way it did this person, right? To me, it's kind of a, I want to take some time to process it. But this person is a sleep on it only person, apparently. All right, next. Are we still throwing these up there on the screen? Okay. Next is a friend used to take sales candidates out for lunch. Had arrangement with his friend who owned the restaurant. Always had the candidate's order screwed up. Oh, I like this one. Now, this is the character test. Always had the candidate's order screwed up. And then they noted how they dealt with it. Either graciously, just eat the food, or politely point it out. That's great. Any pissiness, no hire. Wow. That's fantastic. Let me tell you why that's fantastic. 9 times out of 10, Alex, I'm going to politely point it out. 9 times out of 10. I'm never just going to eat it unless I'm in a hurry, but I'll politely point it out. But that one time that I was pissy, or 2 or 3 in my life, that would be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think it's a wonderful character test. My only challenge with that is, if you do that, you'd have to ask yourself, is this a character flaw or is it a bad day for them? They're in their job interview. They're stressed out. They're at lunch with you. I mean, are they going to be on their best behavior only because they're with you? See, I flipped that for a second and go, what you took was, oh, this is a great sign, is a person that's on their best behavior because they're in a job interview. I'm a little cynical about it. I like it. I just don't know that I'd make a decision. This was pretty clear. If you're pissy, you're out. Well, they might just be perfect because they're with you. But when you hire them and the first time a customer's a little difficult and they whack them over the head, I think this is a bad litmus test, if you will. All right, next. Let's see here. We've got out of 406 interviews I've done. Let me ask my mom. What? What does your company do again? Fantastic. Let me ask my lawyer. That's an unnecessary flex. I'm going to tell you that one right now. I'm not allowed to talk about that. Total BS. Okay. But you won't be calling my boss, right? There's the person who has no awareness. And then finally, do I have to talk to anyone? This is a person who just literally has no freaking idea what they're doing in their life. I'm going to get a job, and as I'm in the interview, I'm going to ask, do I have to talk to anybody? Wow. And then finally, Sean, a candidate who doesn't ask any questions. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm with you on that one. Can't stand that. And then fault for any professional mistakes, stumbles, etc., is attributed to coworkers and leadership. Again, I love that one. That is a glaring red flag. Okay, let's break that down. The candidates who don't ask questions, and this is a little bit of teaching for you who go in there and you kind of go, I don't really have any questions. You need to make up questions because it doesn't look like you care enough to dig. It makes you look like the autopilot worker who's just there for the paycheck. And then the fault for any professional mistakes, stumbles, man, I'm telling you, even if the question they ask you was someone else's fault, take some responsibility for it. You want to show that you are teachable and that you are humble and not, the Mrs. or Mr. Know-it-all. All right, now, switching gears to a very fun, positive little story. We talk about, we have this fun segment we do from time to time on the show, ridiculous job titles and what they pay. And we do that to entertain you, but also to help you see that many of you walk through this life thinking there's just no way I could ever find work that I enjoy. You just feel like it is a guaranteed sentence to be in dread. Well, what about this one? There's a British base in Port Lockroy, Antarctica. And it's on Goudier Island. And it is known for having tons of penguins. In fact, they have a post office now that is called the Penguin Post Office because the penguins are always around, right? I mean, they're just everywhere. 18,000 visitors a year, and you get to see penguins every day. It's really, really cold. Can dip as low as 23 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not even with the wind chill. But if you like penguins and snow and the mail, this is your job. Apply within. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? Well, you're not alone. That's why we created the Should I Quit My Job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. And if you need to make a move, you'll get practical steps to keep you moving forward. Folks, it's time to get unstuck. Life is too short not to do what you were created to do. Go take the quiz right now at kencoleman.com/quiz.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we give you the competitive edge to make more money and more professional impact. Let's go. It's time to coach you up. If you want to be coached up and you're in a really particular sticky situation that may be very sensitive or just full of misery, we can change your name, location, even the industry you're in, just to help you out. Ask@kencoleman.com is the way to email that request, and we'll get you scheduled on the show. 844-747-2577 for those who want to call in live. Rachel is going to start us off in Richmond Hill, Georgia. Rachel, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
All right. So about a year ago, I decided to switch careers and try real estate.
Okay.
And so fast forward 6 months later, and last November, I got my license. And so I've been doing real estate since end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now fast forward again, and I'm like, did I make the wrong choice? I'm not loving it, and I'm wondering if I should be doing something else with my time and talents and passion.
What?
But
give me the but.
But I'm 39, almost 40, and I need to just pick the place and stay.
Well, yes and no. Is anybody relying on your income?
No, just me.
Okay. How much money have you made so far? From the time you started, from the time you got your license, what have you made so far?
Probably about $25,000.
In how many months?
6.
6? Okay. What is it that you don't like about it?
I'm on a small team with other agents, so I like that part of it.
I know. I asked you what you don't like about it.
I don't like all the driving. I don't like the kind of find your own business. I don't like there's not a structure in place unless I put one in there. And I just don't like the job itself I'm learning.
Yeah. Okay, great. No, I'm helping you narrow this down. So what do you like about it?
I like the flexibility of the schedule. It's not a 9 to 5, but I'm learning maybe that's what I need. I like helping people. I like solving their problems, finding a home, building relationships.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think there's the clue. So before we get all distraught, like, I got to find something, we got to know you. And knowing you is what I talk about in the book From Paycheck to Purpose. Stage 1 is to get clear. What are you really good at? That's your talent. What kind of work really gives you the juice? You love this kind of work. And we already know you love serving and communicating to serve, communicating to solve problems. You love that. Very people-facing type work. So we've already got some clues. Does that sound about right? Tell me if I missed anything.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Right.
So then the last piece is mission. What results of your work really matter to you? This is where motivation comes in. Motivation is not something you can will yourself to do. Motivation is like a magnetic force pulling you to something. So you get up early to work out because you love it. You know what I mean? You're not like, oh, I have to do this. I get to do this. That's the missional result piece. Talent, passion, mission. Talent plus passion plus mission equals purpose. When I use what I do best, Rachel, to do work I love, to produce results that matter to me, I'm on fire. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm, yes.
You've heard me talk about that. That's why you called. So what we found out is what we don't like. And in what we don't like, we accentuate what we do like. And you're not a ground and pound, go find the leads, go out of the cave, hunt the deer down, kill it, drag it back. That's not you. That's not you. It drains you, yes?
Right.
But what lifts you is when you are put in a position to engage, communicate, listen, and serve. So we already know you need to be in a role where you're not a hunter-gatherer. I'm trying to use some metaphors for you so that you can begin to identify jobs and go, oh, that's a hunter-gatherer role. I don't like hunting and gathering. I like receiving and serving.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go, okay, what is it that I love? So what people problems do I most like to solve? Now we're going to get into missional stuff here. So what people problems, if I paid you tomorrow, well, to solve problems for a certain group of people or solve a problem that you're really fired up about or deliver a solution that you're really fired up about that solves a problem, what would you try? What comes to mind when I gave you all those little nuances?
Well, 5 years ago, I actually was certified as an associate life coach through the International Coach Federation.
Oh.
And that coaching is something that I used to do to help people with this exact issue.
Why'd you stop?
And because, again, it was building my own business and I could not get traction. And
what kept you? So there's a theme here. And I just want to know really quickly, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to quickly know if this is something that we can develop or if it's a sign that you need to stay away from it. Because we have a theme here. You couldn't develop your business, which is garbage. That's a lie from the pit of hell. You could, you didn't want to. It was too awkward, too full of potential rejection. There's something holding you back in the coaching business and in going out and getting clients to sell or list houses. And it's you not wanting to get out there and put yourself up for rejection is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true or false?
Yeah, I don't think people want or need what I have to offer.
Well, that's garbage. You know they need it.
Right?
I'm telling you, this is a breakthrough moment, I think, for you. You're just like me and every other human. You don't like being rejected, hearing the word no, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So you know what the solve is put yourself out there and start putting yourself up there for a bunch of expected no's and watch how surprising it is that you don't get as many no's as you think you're going to get. You're so worried about getting stung by a bee, you won't walk outside. How silly does that sound?
Yes, and I've always been this way, but it's like I've tried so many things, and I guess after it doesn't take off after the first 6 months, I feel insecure about
but guess what? Guess what? Thomas Edison and the whole electricity and light bulb thing didn't just take off. Henry Ford, the automobile maker, it didn't just take off. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, I've had the privilege to interview her. Her thing with Spanx didn't just take off. Do you know anybody that's successful where everything just took off?
No.
I got to tell you, I'm not willing to help you brainstorm new ideas until you get to a point where you realize this is either a fear thing or this is an aptitude thing. And I don't think it's an aptitude thing. I think you're just afraid and you keep trying other things because you're waiting to strike gold. You keep scratching off lottery tickets. And that's leading you and has already led you down a very frustrating path. And you called me today almost in desperation. You're not, listen, you got to learn how to handle no, because it is the no that keeps me in the game, because I have to get no's in order to get yeses. True or false?
Right, true.
Why don't you rely on other people a little bit more? Instead of doing this alone, you need to talk to a bunch of people and your friends and family and meet more people and get yourself out there and put more irons in the fire and get more people signed up to buy houses from you, get more people to list from you. But you got to be willing to look at somebody and have them go, I'm sorry, I've already got a realtor, and get over it. It's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my Get Clear Career Assessment, okay? It's a 20-minute assessment. I want you to take it. It's going to spit out a detailed report on your talent, passion, mission, and fill out a purpose statement, okay? And it's going to allow you to further clarify whether being a real estate agent is in your sweet spot, is on purpose for you. And it's very simple. If you're spending 75% more of your day doing things that you're really good at, doing work you love, and producing results that matter, then it's in your sweet spot. And what you've described in serving people, it is. I think you're getting hung up on the hard work part of it. But sweetheart, there ain't no progress minus challenge. Take the assessment. I'm going to give you my book as well. You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire, and I know that you have what it takes. All right, folks, rocking it up for you today. I don't even know if that's a phrase. I just made it up. Feels right. Pretty certain my kids would hate it. Rocking it up. That's what I said. Rocking it up for you folks today. Helping you rock it. How about that? That's even better. Thrilled to have you as we help you get the competitive edge to win in your work and in your life. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. 844-747-2577. Let's get to the phones. Elizabeth in Bellevue, Washington joins us. Elizabeth, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet.
Here is my question. I have a junior in high school and a college prep high school, and I am frustrated currently in the college research decision-making process, and I can use your help on if and how to guide her, or just stand back and answer any questions she may approach me with and let the process happen.
All right. What is frustrating you so much?
Well, she is a procrastinator by nature. She has a lot of resources at her disposal. She says she's very interested in attending college, but if you ask her which one she would like to go see or what type of campus she's interested in, what type of things she might want to study, I get a list of all the things she doesn't want to do.
And when was the last time that you wrote those things down or recorded what she was saying? You took notes. You took very detailed attention to what she's telling you, I don't want to do. When was the last time you did that?
Well, they're emblazoned in my mind.
Oh, good.
Because there's not that many, but she just keeps repeating them.
What
She's
are they?
Adamant,
what are they?
She doesn't want to go to school in any other state but California.
Great.
She doesn't like math.
Great. What else?
And she doesn't want too big of a college, but she doesn't want too small of a college.
Okay, good.
She's not really interested in liberal arts colleges, although when you ask her if she knows what that means, she really doesn't.
Okay, great. And when you have these interactions, do you do follow-up questions?
Yes, I try. I say, well, what kind of things do you like to study at school, or what interests you? What do you want to get more information on? What places have you researched that you found that you want to go see in person because you may want to?
Do you do it? Do you do it just like that, like you're doing it to me?
Not rapid fire.
Okay,
it's
good.
more of imagine if we're a conversation. She's
good.
sitting here and we're bantering back and forth.
All right, great. So one thing I want to give you is this. I'm not saying you're using the word why, but if you are, I want you to remove the word why from your conversations with your daughter about college.
Okay.
Specifically. Don't use the word why. So when she says, I don't like math, go, awesome. What subject do you like the most? Have you asked her that?
Okay. Yes.
What's the answer to the subject she likes most?
She did say Spanish.
Great. And then you need to say, what do you love about Spanish?
Okay.
And then she's going to tell you an answer. Then you go, what do you think you could do with Spanish? You got to start digging with what questions.
Okay.
She's on the defensive, and she's a teenager. I got 3 of them right now. Listen to me. I'm asking what questions, and I'm trying to go a little bit deeper and let them tell me, not me try to figure it out. So that's one thing.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some what questions very quickly. What are you worried about? You called me today. What are you most worried about at this stage? She's a junior. What are you worried about if she doesn't come up with these answers you want quickly?
that she'll miss the opportunity to go visit places in advance of applying, or she'll just miss the application process. Again, I said she's a procrastinator, and that she will be disappointed.
Is she, let me ask you this really quickly. In school, does she have a couple of winning subjects where she gets A's and B's?
She gets A's and B's in everything but math.
Okay, great. So here's my point. But she's a procrastinator. So she waits to the last minute to study, turn the paper in. That's her, right?
Yes.
But she always does it, doesn't she?
At some point, yes.
There you go. Stop worrying, Mom. Ask more what questions. Relax. Her future's bright. She'll figure it out. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best: talent, the work you love to do, passion, and the results you want your work to produce. That's mission. Then you're going to feel way more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go now to kencoleman.com/clarity.
The Ken Coleman Show continues to shine a light on your future based on who you are and what you can do, what you should do to make more money, to make a great contribution in your life. Life is too short to just live for the weekend. The job search is frustrating, though. Even though we're in the hottest job market ever, let's be honest, with all the artificial intelligence and online screening and all this kind of stuff, it's full of rejection. It's full of ghosting, no answers at all. And that can get really lonely when you're just kind of doing that. You're submitting, nothing's there. You start to doubt yourself, all kinds of things. And that's why ZipRecruiter does what they do. It's why I endorse them. They get it. Nobody wants to feel alone and frustrated in the job search. Their technology does all the work for you. They save you time by sending you jobs you can apply to with one click, and they pitch your profile to employers. So you stand out because they're your recruiter. So sign up for free and feel the love at ZipRecruiter.com, ZipRecruiter.com. All right, let's stay right here in our backyard, Nashville, Tennessee. Tyler joins us there. Tyler, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how's it going?
I'm living the dream, Tyler. What are you doing?
So I recently just made the switch from being an EMT full-time into sales full-time. I think I found my dream career, but it's a lot harder than I expected. I'm a few months in, and I'm still struggling to hit the goals that I'm supposed to hit.
Okay. So what?
A bit of doubt.
I get it. What makes this your dream career?
I love people. I like helping people. I love talking to people. I've just always been having the gift of gab since I was like 6, and I love being around people and being outside.
Okay. And what are your leaders or leader telling you about your training process and your goals? I mean, what's the current temperature here?
They definitely believe in me for sure. They've been doing a lot of encouraging. We've had some frank conversations about where I am, and they're just like, "Hey, we love you. We love your personality. We think you have what it takes, but you do need to like sharpen your skills and stuff like that."
Okay.
So,
and have they told you what those skills are that you need to sharpen? Like they're very clear and you're clear on what the skills are that you need to sharpen?
Kind of more so the practical side of sales, like arcing, like acknowledging someone's need or their what they're not happy about, redirecting and closing and moving them toward the product they need, but also not spending too much time on people who it's not a good fit and realizing people who don't need our product.
Well, it sounds to me like you have a pretty clear picture of where you need to grow. And it also sounds like your leaders believe you can get there.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you're not under pressure. It doesn't feel like this is a 4-alarm fire. This is not even a fire alarm. It's just, we believe in you. It takes time, right?
Kind of. I mean, that's what they're saying. But for me, I've always been
You've always
I put
excelled.
too much pressure on myself. Well, that, and I'm a perfectionist.
Okay, well, hey, hold on a
second.
second. You are not a perfectionist. I've been waiting for somebody to say this to me on the show for a while because I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine about this. You're not a perfectionist. You know how I know you're not a perfectionist?
How?
Because you're not perfect.
That's good.
I know, it's pretty good, right? I've been waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Like, think about
I
how
like
ridiculous.
that.
And by the way, I'm letting you off the hook. I'm not picking on you. I'm letting you off the hook.
Yeah, no, that's kind of a breath of fresh air.
Tyler, stop the madness.
Yeah,
You're trying to be perfect, and you and I know that you ain't perfect.
it's true.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I think's behind this, though? The pressure that you've put on yourself for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Your fear of letting somebody else down.
You're right.
Did somebody tell you that you let them down in your life?
No, but I've always kind of felt like an outsider and felt like I had to prove myself.
What's behind that? What in your story has made you feel like an outsider?
I've always had trouble connecting with people. Like even my best friends and stuff, I always feel like there's a wall, even though they make it adamantly clear there's not. You know?
What?
So,
okay, we're going to keep digging.
yeah.
We're going to keep digging. Your
Okay.
friends tell you there's not a wall. They're looking at you going, Tyler, there's no wall. We love you. And you're going, I'm pretty sure there's a wall.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? There's an experience in your life, or there is an environment that you were in for a while that has caused you to believe that. You didn't just come out of the womb that way. What is it? You don't have to tell me the gory details, but I want you to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's the source of all of this, doubt. You started the call
right.
saying, Ken, I'm dealing with doubt. And I'm like, well, first of all, welcome to the human race.
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, anybody who's trying to do something intentionally is going to face doubt. That tells me you're trying. But I'm just asking you to identify, and if you can't tell me on this call, that's fine. If it's too personal and it's too vulnerable, I get it. But somewhere, something happened to where you've got this mental block that you aren't enough.
Yeah. I think I need to dig into that. I've honestly never really thought about that before today.
How old are you?
I'm turning 30 this year, actually.
Yeah. You single?
So, yeah, absolutely.
You struggle to have confidence to date?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Been on a few this past year, but it's definitely hard to connect with people sometimes.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to recommend. I really, truly recommend that you sit with a counselor, a therapist. I've sat with therapists. I believe in it. There is no shame in it, because I'm telling you, a professional is going to get you where you need to go. And I'm telling you, you can just tell them. This dude, Ken Coleman, I called a show and he told me that there's something that's making me feel like I'm not enough. And I feel it, but I need help digging. And they'll help you dig. But here's my point. You're 30 years of age. The reason I asked you a moment ago how old you are is because I believe that there was a season, a point in your life where you weren't this way. And to the extent that you can go back there, as far back as you can remember, to where I was not this doubting person about everything, that I wasn't enough. There was a time in my life where I wasn't that, so that we can get to what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? This is deep.
Yeah.
This is deep insecurity is what you're dealing with. And it is manifesting itself professionally in this sales job. Because let me take you back to something you said a moment ago. You said it's held you up with your friends. Your words were, my best friends tell me there's no wall there, but I'm convinced there is. And your current leader is telling you there are no limits to you in this sales job. You can do this. We believe in you, and you don't believe them. So you thought, well, I'll call Ken Coleman today, and he's going to let me off the hook and tell me that me being in sales isn't the right place for me, and I'm not letting you off the hook because I think you're a good communicator. I think you're a great listener. Stop me when I say something that's false. I think that you love talking and listening to people, and you love serving people in the way of helping them get a solution to their problem. And I think sales is the absolute best way to do that kind of work. So I'm not letting you off the hook. You get to the source of your doubt, your personal doubt, you will see a breakthrough in your sales. Now, I will tell you this, keep doing everything they tell you to do and keep training. And if you just stop thinking and start doing what they told you and how they trained you, you'll see your sales increase. But you'll really take off when you get over the fact that you're not enough. Because every phone call, every interaction with a client right now, in the back of your mind, you're going, I don't think I can convince them that this is the right product or service for them because I just don't think I'm connecting to them. There's a wall.
You're right. No, that's, oh my goodness. Yeah.
So we don't have a job problem. We don't have a career problem. We have a worth problem. You don't think you're worth much. And I don't know who did what to you or who said what to you. I'll leave that to the safe and confidential confines of a therapist. But I'm not giving you job advice today. I'm giving you therapy advice. Go see one, get a good one that you trust, and unpack this stuff. And when you get on the other side of it, there's no stopping you, young man. You have a lot to offer. You do matter. You do have what it takes. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.